Hello and welcome to Audrey the ICONN Adventures. I'm Connie.
And I'm Daryl.
And this is Audrey the ICONN.
We're just near the start of the Brachina gorge and we pulled over here to have a look at the Winoka formations. There he is. Yellow-footed rock wallaby. Where's he going? He's just over here. He would be no more than 30 metres from us. There's two of them there now. Gone over there, had a little chinwag with each other. Just as we pulled up, we saw one disappear into one of the many holes that you can see in the side of this canyon wall. Yeah, here we are. It's the middle of the day and they're out and quite active. Very surprising. There he comes. Bit of greenery there. We know they like the greenery. Little woolly wagtails wandering along as well. Fantastic. Gotta love seeing endangered animals out and about. Yeah, split the difference between the car and I. Oh, let's stop right near the side of the road, shall we? He was 6 or 7 metres in front of me then. There he goes. Gosh, they're agile, just the way he jumps up on those logs like that. So this is the Winoka formation. There's no information board here, unfortunately, to be able to tell you much more about it. They do have one of the big pillars to get your attention about it. What I can say about it is you can see all the many layers of rock and how it's all been pushed up at probably, what do we think, 25, 30 degree angle from the horizontal. And lots of caves in it, which are great little hiding spots for our yellow-footed rock wallaby friends that we've seen a few of here. Lots of big red river gums. Connie's been walking around looking for where the wallabies went. Okay, in the wall. Well, there you go. More burrows in the wall just over there. And you can see that big gum tree has tipped over. Still surviving. It's rock wallaby o'clock. There's two of them just here. There's a third one in the cave, and they were just all out here jumping around a few seconds ago. I just saw some more that were further off to our left coming down the rock face. Absolutely fantastic. They're just so agile. He's a bit hard to see there in the shade as people drive past and they've got no idea what they're missing. Okay, that's Hyson Hill just there. And as we come around, we've got the scree slope. And apparently there's a yellow-footed rock wallaby being spotted. So let's go find him. Okay, there's been two spotted. There's another one over here. He's very shy. He came really close to us before and I said to her, there's another couple here. I said, nobody move. We all stopped and he kept going. So he just came out from behind the tree he hid behind. So we'll go see if we can get another view of him.
We're looking at the rock, he just jumped.
I made an oops, that was a rock. He was hiding behind the big rock, just shot around behind it while I had the camera paused, of course. So he's behind this clump of bushes now, so we're not going to see him again, unfortunately. But how magical, we got to see two of them at the bottom of the rock scree, which is the signposted area for viewing them. So how about that? I'll just show you what the view was like from here anyway. It's ever changing with the cloud. There we go. Just had some lunch and we're heading back through the gorge now, and we had someone coming towards us and had to slow right down for what looked like a skip to start with that wanted to cross the road, and turned out it's one of our yellow-footed rock wallabies. There he goes. Connie's got a bundle of photos We thought he was just a plain skipper to start with, and then we saw the stripes on his tail. So Connie got a bundle of photos and I got to get that little bit of video for you. I hope you can see this. We're just coming back past the rock wallaby viewing area, and there's two of the little critters right here having a chomp on some grass. There's a third one over behind those rocks in about the centre of the screen. So we could see three at once there. We just had a tour bus rock up, so who knows what's going to happen. So these ones are smaller than the ones we saw before. These are like teenagers compared to adults. So Connie's getting a bundle more great photos. And there we go. We've reached the end of Brachina Gorge. You can spend a day easily just in the gorge, wandering along, looking at all the beauty. We probably spent well over an hour just looking at rock wallabies in the time we've had here, and just watching their antics and seeing how close they'll come to you. And yet another tourist aircraft flying over. Anyway, just wanted to show you that this is the western end of the gorge. And you could drive through here in two-wheel drive cars, plenty of people have. You just got to go nice and gentle. There's some places there that are a little bit rough and are going to shake you around a little bit. Give you standard tyres and suspension a bit of a belting. Even so, absolutely fantastic. Just the scenery driving through the gorge. Everywhere you looked, it was just spectacular. And we hope that you enjoyed coming along with us on this little adventure and seeing the Brachina Gorge as we saw it. Like all good stories, but wait, there's more! We're looking at the end of the Brachina Gorge there, and the road does wind around down below. I was in behind all those trees. Just come a couple of k's at the most out, and you come out here and you end up on this lookout. Now it's not very high. At the same time, you can see a long way out to the west. Just watch out for the cheeky crow here. He did swoop me for my mandarin. You still get, now we're looking at the northwestern corner of Wilpena Pound there. So the drive all the way from over on the, what are we going to call it, the Hawker-Blinman Road. The road all the way in and across to get to here, I think it's about 20 kilometres. Not very far. It's such an enjoyable drive, so much to see. There's a few campgrounds along the way. You do have to pre-book to camp there. Allocated sites, so do your research and choose your site wisely, because some of them are very pokey and some of them are quite spacious. And when you come through the Brachina Gorge, make sure you come that last couple of k's so you can come around to this lookout and cop a view out to the west, which is where we're going to go. I was just saying to Connie, well, there's a view that we're not going to see for quite possibly a few years now. So I encouraged her to pop out and take a couple of snappies. And I thought, oh, I should get out here and just do a quick video as well to help me remember the beautiful western side of the Flinders Ranges here. And we're about to drive down the western side and take in more of this beautiful scenery. Back on the old Garn Railway, we're just heading down the road and spotted this old ruin. There's no information here about it. Interesting though, you can see some modern day bricks here on the corners where it looks like they've used them to reinforce the walls to help hold it together. And then they've got all the original stone and rough mortar for the rest of the wall. See the window frame there with the modern brick. But this one, she's she's mostly gone. Not a lot left. There's a well over here, a well full of rubbish. Yeah, you see all the modern day brick. It's as if this was built back in the 1800s, and then at some stage they've had a go at preserving and getting it to last longer, or they had a supply, because when we look inside, you can go, that there was a fireplace, and that's the back of a fireplace, and quite possibly there was one here, and that's all made out of the modern day style of brick. So maybe modern day brick for part of it, and then they use the local source stone for the rest of it. You can see where the wall has come down at some stage, exploded all over the place. You can see the steel strapping in there that they use to help hold the walls together, and even right up top where they used it to help hold the roof timbers on. Yeah, this one, she's a mess, and just the colours in the stone though, it's beautiful stone. You probably pay a lot of money to have stone like that put into your house these days. And looking at it now, see, you can see the signs of two fireplaces over here. So it's almost like it had 4 fireplaces. It's almost like it was a 4-room hut with a fireplace in each room. What it was for, we don't know. There's no information here. And if you didn't look closely, you'd drive right on past, you wouldn't even notice it. I tell you what though, we think that's St. Mary Peak, or I think that's what it's called down there. Pretty awesome view. And you look over here and you got the western side of Wilpena Pound up there, and coming down just the western side of the Flinders Ranges. And we think that's Edowie Homestead just over the back there, which is a station that has opened up to camping as well. On the dirt again, hooray, and the good old caution sign. This road does get closed in bad weather. If you look up the SA roads, they've got a pretty good website, shows you what's going on. And this one was closed not so long ago, and this road's name is Moralana Drive. Runs in a southeast northwest direction, so we're heading from the northwest to the southeast, and it's after lunch, and that way you get to enjoy the sun on the beautiful southwestern slopes of the Flinders Ranges. So I thought I'd just show you this little bit here, how much we stop and opportunities etc. along that drive. We shall see. You can just see how rugged it is. We're on the flatlands here pretty much, and then boom, giant range that's been pushed up. What were we saying, 350 to 650 million years ago? So let's go and enjoy that. We didn't drive very far, and wow, just awesome. And then look at all these river gums in this creek. Just as far as we can see in both directions. This is why I stopped, was just literally look at the huge numbers of river gum here, and then we spotted that bluff there of the wall from Wilpena area and Rawnsley, and back to where we just came from. Fantastic. Well, here we go, Murnamora Station. So we're still on the Moralana Drive. I pause to listen to the beautiful birds. Is he one of our Port Lincolns? Could be our beautiful Port Lincoln ringneck parrots that we've been seeing on and off for the last week and a half, nearly 2 weeks now. Anyway, back to what we're looking at here is an old historic site. This was restored back in the early 2000s, sort of around 2002-ish, by Mernamora Station and the Holden Jackaroo Club of South Australia. Right. It's an old, as it says, bullock queuing yard. Now, hands up those who don't know what bullock queuing is. Yes, I've got my hand up because I had no idea what bullock queuing was until I read the little plaque that is here. Now, this yard was used to hold the bullocks, and then they would shoe them like you would a horse. So that's what queuing a bullock is. Just putting some shoes on his feet, and then they were the bullocks that were used for the bullock trains to hauling the timber down from the Flinders Ranges for the construction of the overland telegraph line. So Mernamora got in and restored this, as I believe it's some of the earliest pastoralist settlement in this area, dating back to somewhere around 1870. So well done to Mernamora Station for putting the effort in to do something like that. And there's a nice sign to let you know that you're coming up to a photographic point. So all part of the beauty of driving along the Morolana Drive. Well, that's the Red Range off in the distance there, and it runs parallel on the southern side of Morolana Drive. And when you come along, there is a turn off to the north, and it's a few kilometres of lumpy bumpy how you going, and a couple of creek crossings, and dry at the moment. And you end up at this area that I think they call a lookout, even though there's zero signage. Yet again, part of the ICONN Trail. You've heard me mention that a number of times over the last few videos. So lovely and peaceful and quiet except for the birds. And you can get a view of that mountain peak there up towards Rawnsley Park, Wilpena Pound. And just keep panning around. So much of this native pine and conifer trees. No wonder they used so much of it to build out here back in the 1850s onwards. Such an abundance of it. And it regenerates really well. So peaceful and quiet because we are the only ones here. We're getting right down to the end of Morolana Drive now, just a little bit to go. So this is some of the southernmost part of the Flinders Ranges that you're going to see on this drive, because as you're coming along you get a load of this down to in the southeasterly direction, and I believe that's the Chase Range down there. And we do not have time. We leave the Flinders tomorrow, so as Matt always says, we'll definitely be back, and we will have to come back. There's so many more places to explore here, so I'm just going to come back around the way we were, back over the Flinders, and just see all the various colours as the sun's heading down, and come right around onto where we were looking at the Red Range earlier, and now the Red Range is pretty much all in shadow silhouette. So it's been a lovely drive along here. I have been told that you should do it of a morning and do it of an afternoon. This is my second time along here, both times in the afternoon, and it is spectacular. And next time we come to the Flinders, just might have to organise to do a morning and afternoon run on the Morolana Drive. Wow, check out the Chase Range. Getting down towards 4ish in the afternoon now. So the sun's getting down a fair ways. And gosh, doesn't it light it up beautifully? Maybe I'll change the angle here a bit. Just plenty of red and tan showing up in there. And then you get down to this southern end of it and you got, looks like cliff faces. So be very interesting to go and have a good explore of those one day in the future. And again, just check out how green it is here. Like, there's no way you'd think you're in an arid environment here, let alone one that's been in drought for I don't know how long. So, as I said earlier, hopefully the rains that we've been having is the start of something to help them break that drought. So it'll make it good for the farmers and keep these fields looking lush and green. Because I truly don't remember what it looked like when I was here 7 years ago. I am going to go and dig up the old footage when we get home so I can prompt the old grey matter to see what it was like. Well, we're here at Station Hill Lookout, looking at the southern side of Wilpena Pound, and that big bluff there is Rawnsley Bluff, and I'll just slide across a bit and we come around to Fred Knob, and then we come around a little further to Walter Hill, and then we got Dick Knob, and then we got Snake Hill at the end. So Rawnsley Bluff was named after surveyor H.C. Rawnsley, and all the other prominent peaks were named after the family of another early government surveyor named William Evans. You'll have to bear with me, the grader is down here carving furrows in the ground for we don't know what. So anyway, we'll just look around here, another view of the Chase Range out there, and they've been doing some work up here as well. You get right around here and you can see the silhouette of the other ranges down to the south of us. So it's just another one of those opportune moments to, oh, there's a lookout, have a quick low bow peep and see what there is to see. We leave the Flinders Ranges in the morning. We've come up the Stokes Lookout to enjoy a beautiful sunset this evening, and as I've said in previous episodes, you got to stay till after the sun sets where you get that extra burst of beautiful colour, and that's exactly what we got to experience here. Next episode, we start making our way home the long way by heading into New South Wales.